Hello, I am Renee Meuse, and I am so excited to show you some easy tips, tricks, and recipes to put together a beautiful and elegant Easter brunch. From the moment my guests walk in my door, I want them to feel warmed, welcomed, and celebrated. And I love creating a toasting drink to celebrate the gathering once everyone arrives. Today, I'll be serving some sparkling rosé topped with some cotton candy to create a cotton candy cottontail. For those that don't drink or that are not of age, I'll be serving some raspberry ginger ale, similar in color to the sparkling rosé. And as you might have guessed it, my theme of the day is pink. All the recipes that I'm showing you can be prepared a day in advance. And don't forget to visit my blog at reneemeuse.com to find out all the ingredients that I'll be using. I'm going to start with my French toast casserole, and here I've got a French brioche bread sliced and placed in a casserole dish. I'm going to now whisk my wet ingredients. And I'm going to carefully pour this over the bread. Now you'll let this casserole sit overnight for at least 12 hours. Here I have some softened butter along with some sugar and seasoning, and I'm going to add a little bit of corn syrup to soften it up. I'm going to take my dough cutter and cut the butter right into the sugar. I've added my pecans to my softened butter mixture, and I'm going to stir that really well. Once that's all put together, we're going to spread this on top of the French casserole bake. And you're just going to take your time and spread that nice and evenly with delicate strokes across the bread. And then you're going to place this on a cookie sheet to prevent any spillage into your oven. We're going to bake this at 350 degrees the next day, but for now, we're going to let this rest in the refrigerator overnight. And now we're moving on to the egg casserole. This dish is also one that you can prepare a night in advance, and it's going to stay in your refrigerator for at least 12 hours. Here I've lined the bottom of a casserole dish with bread and butter. I'm going to add to that a mixture of maple ground sausage, which I've browned beforehand. I'm going to spread that evenly on the bottom, along with some bacon that I've already browned. And some cheddar cheese. To my wet mixture, I'm going to add my seasoning, and I'm going to whisk that well. Now we're going to pour our egg mixture over the casserole. Once you've added your egg mixture to this casserole dish, you're also going to wrap this and refrigerate this for at least 12 hours or overnight. Alongside your French toast casserole, you're going to take these out an hour before your guests arrive and bake them at 350 for 45 minutes. You will absolutely fall in love with the zucchini bread recipe. It is easy to make, and the best part is if you use these mini loaf pans, you can send leftovers home with your guests at the end of your meal. Here you can see that I've made it already, but here are the ingredients you would need to prepare. When you cut into this bread, you'll notice it's moist and beautiful with the blueberries popping through. A beautiful complement to any ham dinner is going to be some pineapple. And here we have a very easy to make pineapple fruit dip using some simple ingredients you may already have on hand. Sour cream, vanilla pudding, and some pineapple. We're going to top that with some toasted coconut for a delicious finish. If you love ham and eggs as much as I do, you will absolutely love these ham muffins. What I do on this dish is I line the bottom of a muffin container with a slice of ham. Now the way to cut around that to make sure it fits properly is taking your shears from your kitchen and cutting off any extra pieces that are overflowing the edge. We're going to add our egg to that muffin, and then we're going to top with a little bit of cheese and tomatoes. And if you feel a little bit more adventurous, you'll add a little bit of pesto for that Mediterranean feel. You'll pop this in the oven about 20 minutes before your guests arrive at 350 degrees. And now it's on to my favorite part of the meal, dessert. I've greased my muffin pan and I've added 8 ounces of chocolate in a double boiler. To that, I'm going to add 2 cups of potato sticks. We'll place that in the muffin tin and add our Cadbury eggs as a topping. And as you can see, they make the most adorable dessert for kids and adults alike. Don't let the sophisticated look of a jelly roll cake intimidate you. They are quite easy to make and can be prepared a day in advance. Here I'm going to take my prepared batter and pour it into my jelly roll pan. I'll let this bake for 15 minutes at 350 degrees or until it's done. While that's baking, I'm going to prepare some coconut dyed with a couple of red drops of food coloring, shaken into a bag for the frosting finish. While the cake is baking, you're going to dust a clean kitchen towel with some confectioner's sugar. As soon as your cake is out of the oven, you're going to flip it onto this towel and roll it up until it's fully cooled. Once it's cooled, you'll unroll that cake very carefully, spread a little bit of your frosting into the cake, and top it with some candied carrots, raisins, and walnuts. Once you're done, you'll have a beautiful finished product like this once you've added your coconut topping. The best way to cut into your jelly roll cake is to use a finely serrated bread knife. Enjoy! When it comes to setting a table, I absolutely love incorporating pieces that have been handed down from my grandmothers or pieces that remind me of them. Now that gatherings are substantially smaller, you have extra time to clean off those dusty pieces that have been sitting on a shelf in your closet. And if you think Grandma's china is out of style, guess again. From Waterford crystal to etched glass, you can find these beautiful pieces to adorn your tabletop from Pottery Barn and Williams-Sonoma. Cloth napkins can play a huge role in elevating the look and feel of your place setting. Here are a few examples of how I've incorporated pinks using an assortment of place-setting styles and finishes that I had on hand. In this setting, I folded the napkin more formal to incorporate a ring. Here, I folded it more casually to add a touch of contrast between the dishes. And here, I've added it to the glass to bring the color suspended into the air. I hope that I've inspired you to create a beautiful and elegant Easter brunch. Thank you so much for joining me in my home today. Cheers!